What is going on, everybody? It's Sacktown Pete back at it again. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I hope you guys are all having a wonderful Saturday and a weekend. I want to talk about Monte McNair and this offseason for the Sacramento Kings so far and what we have done this offseason. We went ahead, let's start off with the draft. A little recap here. We went ahead and drafted Davion Mitchell at number 9. We went ahead and also drafted Neemias Queta in the second round of the 2021 NBA draft. And that officially set the ball moving rolling for NBA free agency, which was a week later and started. And so far in free agency, we've done a good job of retaining Mo Harkless. We brought him back on a 2-year deal. We went ahead and re-signed Terrence Davis. We brought him back on a 2-year deal. And I really liked his deal. His deal was actually a steal, in my opinion. Great deal. Glad it worked out for both parties. Rashad Holmes was the biggest offseason that we free agent that we had to prioritize and address, and I'm glad he is back with Sacramento on a 4-year deal. We went ahead and also signed Alex Lynn. If you guys don't know who Alex Lynn is, he is a center. He played for the Washington Wizards last season, and he balled out for the Wizards. And now, previously for the Wizards, 2 years ago, he actually played for the Sacramento Kings. So I'm glad he's able to come back in Sacramento. Welcome back, Alex. It's good to have you on board. And that's pretty much it, right? Is that pretty much it? Is this offseason done? I don't think it's done. I think there's still going to be some moves to come. But in terms of Monte McNair and what he has addressed so far, the one thing, guys, he has addressed is the defensive end. And let me explain. Anytime, I don't know if you guys have been paying attention, I'm sure you guys have, Davion Mitchell is balling in the Summer League. The first game that we saw in the California Classic, we knew what we got in Davion Mitchell. And what blows me away about Davion Mitchell is just his heart and his dog mentality on the defensive end. Been a long time OG Kings fan. The best defender I probably seen as a Kings fan was obviously Doug Christie back in his day, and Ron Artest, who I enjoyed a lot, tremendously in Sacramento. So Davion Mitchell, just based on his Summer League play so far, he looks like he's going to be a player that's going to make a lot of multiple All-NBA first defensive teams in his career, man. And given the minutes, if he does get minutes, which I expect Luke Walton to give him plenty of minutes this upcoming season, I wouldn't be surprised if he just balls out and shows out on the defensive end. It's good to see Davion ball out and show out in Summer League. Obviously, that's what you want to see from your rookie that you took with your lottery pick at number 9. And I think that he's ready to make an NBA impact right away, immediately. Praying to God, hope Luke Walton finds some minutes for him. We'll see. Another thing is that Neemias Queta has blown me away. I like the way he runs up and down the court for a big. He's got good footwork. He's long and lengthy, and he can block shots. The other night I was watching him, and I'm like, wow, okay, the Kings have something in here with Neemias, and potentially looks like he's going to be a second-round steal for us. I do really believe that, based on his play so far, he can get some valuable time on the rotation and be a part of the rotation, should I say, on the team once the season starts. I really think Luke Walton's got to figure out to get him some minutes coming off the bench, and I really do think that he's a valuable asset moving forward, and he's only going to get better. Alex Lynn also is a good, solid big man that we signed to a 2-year deal, and his defense and his his hustle, his grit and grind play, and his dog mentality as well. I like the fact that the Kings have another center that can play a defense like Alex Lynn. Also, the Tristan Thompson trade, if you guys are wondering, it has been official. That trade went through. Let's recap about that. DeLon Wright goes to Atlanta, and in a 3-team trade, the Boston Celtics send Tristan Thompson to Sacramento. So, look, man, I know there's been a lot of people complaining about the Tristan Thompson trade. I'm not complaining so much because our offseason is still not done. We still have another 2 months. Anything maybe could be a part of another trade package. Or maybe he might be viewed as a solid big that can come off the bench and provide defense and his rebounding. And he can be a good veteran to have around these young bigs that we have. Now, Monte McNair, you guys are probably thinking like, oh, well, other than besides retaining our free agents and signing Alex Lynn and the draft picks. Like, Pete, what else has he done? He hasn't really done anything. He hasn't done a flashy move. I get it, but let me explain how the Sacramento Kings defense is going to be a lot better and improve a lot from the crap that we saw last season. Buddy Hield, Marvin Bagley, they are subpar defenders. They're pretty much the worst defenders on the team. And I think that you fill in, you draft Davion, you draft Nehemiah Keita, you bring back Alex Lynn. Tristan Thompson's in the mix. Rashad Holmes is obviously back. I think those guys are going to pick up the slack on the defensive end around Fox, Halliburton, and Davion. I think that Buddy Hield and Bagley might not even be on the team by the time the training camp season starts, guys. But in terms of right now, this team supposedly is projected to win about 35 games. And I'm not surprised by the early projections. That's fine, because this team obviously still needs to do a swing for the fences trade. Hint, hint, Ben Simmons. Hint, hint, Pascal Siakam, if he's available. But most likely I'm hearing a lot is about Ben Simmons. So we'll see what happens. I think that the Sacramento Kings, I'm going to take the over. If no roster more moves are made, and if this is our team moving forward, and just based on the defensive players that we brought in through the draft and free agency, and obviously the players that we brought back in the trade with the Tristan Thompson trade, I expect this team to be a lot better defensively. There's no excuses for it. This team will improve dramatically on the defensive end. And forgot to mention that Doug Christie now being part of this coaching staff and one of the assistant coaches. Doug's going to make this defense improve, man. There's no doubt in my mind about that. It can only help, not hurt this team. Doug Christie is going to make this defense improve. And Monte McNair has done a good job of addressing the defensive flaws, is what I'm saying, guys. Now, in terms of playoff roster and in terms of playoffs, trying to make the playoffs, we still got ways to go. The Western Conference is stacked. It's crazy as it's ever been. I think that the Sacramento Kings are still a trade away from competing for a playoff spot. Based on this roster that we currently have right now, this team, I'm going to take the over. I think they'll win more than 35 games. I really do believe that their defense is going to improve by a lot, and I think that they will win over 35 games. You guys forget that we've had multiple 9-game losing streaks last season, and Tyrese Halliburton, they interviewed him the other day through Summer League, and he said, you know what, consistency. I think consistency is really important, Tyrese, as he mentioned, and I think that those multiple 9-game losing streaks, that's 18 games right there, and we won 31 last season. You take the over. I'm taking the over, and I think that the Sacramento Kings will win more than 35 games this upcoming season. Now, swing for the fences trade, if they do go after Ben Simmons or another Al-Shark caliber type of player, if they give up Buddy or Bagley or future first-round draft picks or somebody else on the roster, that changes the dynamics of the team. I think that if they can add an all-star caliber player to the team, then yes, they're going to be in the hunt for the playoffs. But currently right now, with this roster right now, maybe they'll have a shot. I mean, that's obviously the goal. The goal has always been to obviously get in the postseason, get in the play-in, and get in the postseason, give your chance a shot to make that postseason spot. And when I look at the Kings with their current roster, obviously the teams around them are be fighting for this spot. San Antonio has not proved. New Orleans, I don't even know if they even made a move. Minnesota, they've been quiet off season so far, so I'm not sure what's happening there. But I think that with Karl Anthony Towns coming back strong and being healthy, they're obviously going to be a tough outing. But they've been quiet, so they haven't really done anything to prove their roster. And when I look at the Kings out of all those teams, they've gotten better defensively, and I think that they will take some pride in their defense, and they will be a lot better defensively. And I hope that leads to more wins, because damn, we got to win more than 31 games, guys. There's no excuses for that. So, with that being said, guys, let me know what your guys' thoughts is on this offseason so far. If you're new to my channel, welcome to my channel. Please hit the like and subscribe. I'll greatly appreciate it. And Monte McNair, like I said, man, I'm glad that he's done a fantastic job of coming out and addressing the biggest flaw, and that is defense. But in terms of swinging for the big fence trade, he still has to do that. Whether he does that or not is yet to be determined. But I really do think that the Kings are in position to make that swing for the fences trade, man. In my opinion, we've been rumored to link to this big trade all summer long. And the Kings, in my personal opinion, I would be disappointed if they don't make a trade for an all-star caliber player like a Simmons. But at the same time, they have something special in Davion. And I think that you add a special player like Davion and a good potential big like a Nehemias onto your roster to go with the Fox and the Halliburton. You got the core in place. And with the Rashad Holmes coming back for another 4 years, and you signed him and you know that he's locked in for 4 years, you got Davion and Nehemias coming in, and you're adding that to the core of Fox, Halliburton, and Holmes. So I liked it. I like the building blocks of this team. But man, it would be just so great to swing for the fences and get an all-star caliber player to go with these building blocks. Then we're talking. Then we're talking playoffs, man. So with that being said, that's going to do it for me for today's video, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend. You guys take care. God bless. Keep pushing forward, and I will catch you guys in my next video. Peace.